It is an amazing day for Yu-Gi-Oh! As we get to watch an amazing live duel between Unchained Live Twin and Drytron. Now, unfortunately, Meshack isn't going to be with us today, but fortunately, I do have his notes. I'll be able to tell you the play-by-play of his entire turn sequence, as well as educate you on the Drytron strategy. I'll also be able to give you my play-by-play and turn sequence for Unchained. Meshack starting off strong by activating Cyber Emergency. This card is typically used in Cyber Dragon decks to add Cyber Dragon cards, but it does have an effect to be able to add Light Machine monsters that cannot be normal summoned or set, and that just so happens to be every single Drytron monster currently in the TCG. For the players that don't necessarily know exactly how Drytrons work, they are a series of effect monsters and ritual monsters. The effect monsters allow you to tribute ritual monsters or Drytron monsters from your hand or your side of the field to be able to special summon these cards from your graveyard or your hand and gain certain effects. Whether it's searching other ritual monsters or ritual spells, drawing cards, or special summoning other Drytron monsters, this deck pretty much has it made for almost every ability. As you can see, Meshack is going to use Cyber Emergency to add Alpha Thupin from his deck to his hand, and now he's going to be able to pop off with some pretty cool plays. Seeing that Alpha Thupin is a monster that he can use its effect immediately by tributing a Drytron or a ritual monster, he's going to use the effect of Alpha Thupin to be able to tribute Zeta Aldaba to be able to special summon itself to the side of the field and add a ritual monster from his deck to his hand. So as you can see, the deck is really good at being able to search the pieces that it needs. Alpha Thupin will allow him to search a ritual monster in Herald of Ultimateness, but even more importantly, since Zeta Aldaba can be used from the graveyard, he can then follow up with the effect of Zeta to be able to special summon itself and search the ritual spell card. Unfortunately for him, I do have other plans. I'm going to use Ghost Bell and Haunted Mansion to negate the Zeta in the graveyard, and some of you guys may be scratching your head. Why exactly didn't I use it on the Alpha Thupin? Well, unfortunately, the ruling for Ghost Bell against Drytron monsters, this is really important for you guys that want to play against the Drytron strategy or trying to learn the Drytron strategy. Ghost Bell cannot negate a Drytron monster that is activating in the hand because it's already been determined that it would activate in the hand, as opposed to cards like Psyframe Gear Gamma, where the card can still wind up in the graveyard in the Dear Servant, or you could still possibly put a card in the graveyard to add to your hand. So in this particular sequence, it looks like Meshack is going to ritual summon into Herald of Ultimateness. That's going to provide him some forms of disruption, despite him being disrupted with the Ghost Bell and Haunted Mansion, and it's going to be the end of his turn. We know that Meshack has at least 2 disruptions, or at most 2 disruptions, in his hand with Herald of Ultimateness, but at least 1 disruption, or he possibly wouldn't have ritual summoned the monster in the first place. It's going to be up to me to break this board, as I'm going to normal summon Live Twin Leela to my side of the field and activate its effect. Really smart of Meshack not to be trigger happy using the effect of Herald to negate Leela. There happens to be a Live Twin monster or spell card that can special summon other Live Twin monsters to the side of the field, which means that if he would have negated the Leela, I could have followed up with that card, special summoned another Live Twin monster to my side of the field in Kisa Kill, and still went off with combo. So Leela will allow me to special summon a monster in Kisa Kill to my side of the field. Meshack still with no responses. I think I'm okay to proceed with the next turn. Now, the Evil Twin Unchained, or the Live Twin Unchained strategy, is a combination of 2 really strong decks. Leela allows you to special summon Kisa Kill, and Kisa Kill allows you to special summon Leela, which can give you destructions or draws, but more importantly, sometimes you can destroy your own card. I'm going to go ahead and use the effect of Leela, but Meshack is going to respond with his Herald of Ultimateness, discarding his Herald of Orange Light. I'm now going to use Abomination's Prison. Meshack with no response, so he may not have another Herald negation. I'm going to add Unchained Arua from my deck to my hand. I'm then going to go ahead and follow up by setting a card face down and using the effect of Unchained Twins Arua, destroying my face down card to special summon itself to the side of the field. That's going to trigger the effect of Abominable Chamber of the Unchained, which will allow me to special summon an Unchained monster to my side of the field. Realizing that Meshack doesn't have any other negations after Herald of Ultimateness, I can go ahead and special summon any Unchained monster to my side of the field that I please. Unchained Soul of Disaster allows me to link summon with his Herald, but I think I can go a little further first. I'm going to go ahead and special summon Unchained Twin Sarama to my side of the field, and I'm going to use Sarama's effect to destroy the Arua to be able to set the Abominable back to my side of the field, and then trigger the Arua to be able to special summon an Unchained monster to my side of the field. Now, the Unchained strategy is built on every time these monsters are destroyed or face down spell or trap cards, I can special summon an Unchained monster to my side of the field. The purpose of this deck is to snowball advantage, and again, if you guys want to see that deck profile, then go ahead and destroy that like button and let us know down below. I'm going to special summon Unchained Soul of Disaster, using its effect to be able to link summon with my opponent's monster, and that's going to allow me to link summon into Unchained Soul of Rage. Now, for the ladies and gentlemen that are probably trying to figure out exactly what Unchained feels like, I think the best way to accurately represent Unchained is if you guys played in the 2014 Yu-Gi-Oh format, Yang Zing would probably be a close simulation, as the deck does allow you to summon from the extra deck in interesting times, and they're all recruiters. I'm going to inflict a good amount of damage to Meshack and pass my turn. It's going to be up to him to come back into this game. He's going to activate Preparation of Rites, but unfortunately, I have Imperial Order. Whoa, that is going to be huge, as that Preparation of Rites not only would have allowed Meshack to add a Cyber Angel Benton from his deck to his hand, it also would have allowed him to add Merionis Drytron from his graveyard to his hand, and it would have allowed him to use the effect of his Drytron monsters in graveyard as well, tributing the Benton and continuing on with plays. Unfortunately, Imperial Orders outright forces Meshack to pass his turn, and I'm going to take 700 damage in my standby phase due to Imperial Order. Imperial Order is a really strong card against Drytron in the right opportunities. This time around, it proved to be a really good chance. I'm going to use the Abominable to special summon Arua, and then Sarama to destroy Arua to set the Abominable back to my side of the field, which will trigger Arua's effect to be able to special summon an Unchained monster to my side of the field. My monster of choice is going to be the Abominable Unchained Soul, and that's actually enough to attack for game. Unchained showing you exactly what they can do, even when you don't have the live twin engine going off. If your opponent goes ahead and disrupts it, you can go ahead and play with the Unchained cards, which are great at grinding. Meshack's going to go ahead and start off the next turn by going first, and he's looking to get back into this game and possibly force a game 3. So the Drytron strategy, of course, wants to go first to establish that Herald Vanity board. He's going to start off with Delta Alteus, being able to tribute Gamma Eltanin, and then reveal a Cyber Angel Benton to draw an additional card. Meshack already putting himself in the driver's seat. We know that he has a Benton in hand. He's going to be able to pop off with some super boards if he plays his cards right. Next, he's going to activate the spell card in Drytron Fafnir. That's going to allow him to add a Drytron spell card from his deck to his hand. Getting the Drytron Nova is going to be one of the most important cards to Drytron strategy, as not only is it a reinforcement of the army allowing you to almost search the Drytron monster, the really cool thing is that it actually places it to your side of the field. So if you decide to link off with it, you can use this effect from graveyard. You essentially get 2 monsters in the form of a spell card. Meshack's monster of choice is probably going to be Zeta Aldaba or Alpha Thuman. He's going to special summon Zeta Aldaba to his side of the field, which probably means he doesn't need to search a ritual monster right now. Now he's going to use both Delta Alteus and Zeta Aldaba for a link summon. He's going to go ahead and make Union Carrier, really good card. Union Carrier's effect is going to target itself to be able to equip a light machine monster, or a light monster, my apologies. He's going to equip an Eva from his deck to his side of the field. Really interesting that he didn't get Dawn Knight, but that probably means that he's looking for a huge Herald play. Meshack now thinking about what his next move is. He's going to use that Zeta Aldaba to be able to tribute that Benton from his hand to the graveyard. That would be huge if I didn't have the Ghost Bell in Haunted Mansion for that Zeta, Really huge choke point as he can't search the ritual card. He'll try to search a monster, but Skullmeister comes into play. Whoa. Those hand traps are going to be huge, stopping Meshack from going through a full combo. He's going to use Drytron Gamma Elton and tributing off another Benton. Unfortunately for him, I have another DD Crow, another disruption. I'm going to banish the Benton before he can activate its effect. And in TCG North America, if a card moves places before it can activate its effect, it won't be able to activate its effect. Meshack is going to be able to special summon Aldaba with the effect of Gamma Eltonin, and now he's going to use both of his monsters for a link summon into IP Masquerena. Really unfortunate for Meshack, but that is how it works in the TCG inside of America. If a card does change locations, like how Benton was banished from the graveyard, it won't be able to activate its effects when it comes time to activate its effect. Keep in mind that does not work for a card that is already activating its effect. You can't make it move locations and it'll lose its effect. That's not how monster effects work. So Meshack is going to pass his turn. Being able to drain 3 hand traps from me and still being able to make a board just shows how resilient this deck is. I'm going to activate Unchained Twins Arua on my face down Abomination's Prison, triggering its effect to be able to special summon an Unchained monster to my side of the field. The monster of choice is going to be the Abominable Unchained Soul. And now we're going to have to go to Force Battle phase. Meshack is going to smartly use the effect of IP Masquerena. He's going to go ahead and link summon into a Nightmare Unicorn. Nightmare Unicorn's effect will activate as well as the Eva. Here's actually where we have a bit of a misplay. I remember discussing with Meshack, you know, what exactly should have happened here. And crazy enough, I probably could have prevented all of this if I would have just DD Crowed in response to the IP Masquerena. He wouldn't have had any initial targets with Eva to banish, so he wouldn't have been able to search. So no, this is a pretty big mistake by me. And it's also another mistake because Eva banishes for cost, meaning that as soon as he would have activated the effect of Eva and Nightmare Unicorn, his cards would have been banished and there would have been nothing for me to DD Crow. So hope you guys excuse this mishap and hopefully you guys grow better from it. I know me and Meshack has as a team, as Meshack is going to be able to resolve Nightmare Unicorn, shuffling in Unchained Twins Aruba, and then he'll be able to resolve Eva to be able to banish the Herald of Purple Light to be able to add a level 2 or lower fairy monster from his graveyard to his hand. Or maybe he actually does have another light fairy monster in his graveyard and just doesn't want to use it. Who knows? So Meshack's card of choice, we already know he only has 1 card in hand. It probably isn't going to be a Herald card, so we won't have that extra form of disruption. And Meshack knows that I only have 1 card on the field, no additional cards in hand myself. I just really think that you can't solve every single problem in this Yu-Gi-Oh card game by throwing hand traps at him. All of them are good. Well, not all of them are good, but the ones that are being played right now are really good, but they don't have the impact of hand traps that they once had back in the day, which I think is really healthy for the Yu-Gi-Oh card game. Hand traps don't end players' turns, but it definitely forces players to change their play sequence. I'm going to use the Unchained Soul to attack over Meshack's Nightmare Unicorn. And that's going to be the end of my turn, going into main phase 2 and then into end phase, nothing else in my hand or field. We're just going to go ahead and shuffle each other's decks, and then that's going to be the end of it. Now, really unfortunately for me, Meshack has a Petite Cyber Angel because of my poor judgment play. But yeah, it's going to show you how resilient this Drytron deck is. He actually doesn't even need the Petite Cyber Angel to still pop off with this turn, but it's just going to show you how miraculous this deck can be. Meshack is going to start his turn off by activating Drytron Zeta Aldaba. No additional hand traps to be able to stop this sequence, as he is going to tribute the Alpha Thubin to be able to special summon it to his side of the field and search a ritual spell card. It's almost poetic how this deck could probably still do the exact same thing, even without the normal summon that he is about to have. Meshack is going to get Meteorionus Drytron from his deck to his hand. I could never say that card's name right. His next move is probably going to be normal summoning that Petite Cyber Angel. That's going to get him another Benton from his deck to his hand. And boy, that's going to be the nail in the coffin if there ever is one. Meshack is going to start this turn off with 2 cards in hand. Let's see how many cards he can amass, as Benton is going to be added into his hand, and now he can use the effect of his Alpha Thubin in his graveyard to tribute the Benton. He'll be able to search a ritual spell card, or a ritual monster, as well as search a fairy monster from his deck to his hand. Special summoning that Alpha Thubin to his side of the field. And now with the Alpha Thubin, he'll add the big Drytron Draconid monster. With the effect of Benton, he'll now be able to add a fairy monster. One would wonder if it's the Herald of Ultimateness, maybe another Benton. Really depends on what exactly he's trying to do in this sequence. We actually know it's not another Benton, as he does have 2 banished. It's going to be a Cyber Angel Natasha. Cyber Angel Natasha makes this deck completely unfair. I think it's mainly because Natasha is not a once per turn snatch all of your opponent's monsters, as long as you can keep link summoning it off to the graveyard. Meshack's next move is probably going to be to use another Drytron monster in his graveyard, and I think he's going to do that. He's going to activate Drytron Galma Eltanin to be able to special summon itself to the side of the field, as well as another Drytron monster from the graveyard after he tributes that Cyber Angel Natasha from his hand. So yeah, he's still thinking about what he's going to do exactly. That that Gamma Eltanin is going to hit the field. And then his monster of choice for a free special summon is going to be the Delta Alteus. So Meshack has a full board, 5 monsters on the field, starting off with 2 cards in hand. He's now going to use his Mitrionis Drytron to be able to tribute his Zeta Aldaba to be able to ritual summon back to his side of the field Cyber Angel Natasha. And now if he can get that Cyber Angel Natasha to the graveyard, he's in the game. He'll be able to snatch the Abominable Unchained Soul and be able to proceed with his plays. Now, some of you guys may be wondering exactly where did I get this mat from. I actually got this mat from Imperium Duelist, guys. Use the code CaliEffect 10 off. I'll leave everything down below in the description, as well as the comment section pinned comment. Meshack is going to link summon it to Herald of Mirage Lights. That's going to get Natasha off of his side of the field. Now he can use that Natasha in the graveyard to be able to snatch my Unchained Soul. Meteonis Drytron is going to reduce the attack of his Alteus to be able to add it from the graveyard to the hand. And now he can ritual summon again. This is going to be really, really scary for me. So we already know Draconid can hit the field. Natasha can hit the field and take control of the Unchained Soul. But this is the pace that I'm used to Meshack playing at. Very, very slow, even when he does have all of the answers. You can say slow and steady just might win the race. He's going to tribute off Alpha Thubin and Alteus. Ritual summon that Drytron Meteonis Draconids. He's going to use the effect of Cyber Angel Natasha to be able to banish the Benton, summon itself to the side of the field, and steal my monster. Unfortunately for me, that is enough for game. We are going into game 3. And this time around, I do have the opportunity to go first. And boy, I drew I like this hand. I'm going to go ahead and normal summon Life Twin Leela to my side of the field and use her effect. Meshack smartly not negating the Leela. I'll use her effect to be able to spell summon Kisa Kill to my side of the field. Now I'll link off both Kisa Kill and Leela to be able to link summon into an Evil Twin Kisa Kill. Evil Twin Kisa Kill will special summon, but no, it looks like he has the Herald of Orange Light, but no! Whoa! I have the Called by the Grave. I have not seen that card in quite some time, but Called by the Grave comes in clutch here, banishing the Herald of Orange Light, allowing me to special summon Leela back to my side of the field from Kisa Kill's effect, and now use both monsters for a link summon into another Evil Twin Leela. Now Leela will use her effect, allowing me to special summon Kisa Kill back to my side of the field. And now since I did special summon Kisa Kill, I will be able to draw an additional card. This is crazy. I can't remember the last time I've seen Called by the Grave stop a hand trap on these live duels. Maybe Called by the Grave was at 3 when that happened. It's been a very, very long time. Excited to have that happen. I can tell you I was like ecstatic when I seen it. I was like, oh man, this is really good. It's not only going to be good against like Drytron's activating the effects for Graveyard, it's also good against stopping hand traps that Meshack just so happened to have. So I'm going to draw that card off a Kisa Kill. Really, really good card. Setting a card face down, I will activate Unchained Twins Arua, destroying my face down, escape from the Unchained. That will special summon Arua to my side of the field and also trigger the escape to the Unchained to be able to special summon an Unchained monster. I'll special summon Twin Sarama to my side of the field, using its effect to destroy the Arua to set to my side of the field escape. Arua's effect will activate, allowing me to special summon an Unchained monster from my deck. Of course, we're going to go ahead and special summon Soul of Disaster. Now, Meshack just so happens to have a Nibiru. That's going to be very good for me. But I don't think that Nibiru is a card that players would side deck against Unchained. You just never really see it because the odds of them, you know, it just doesn't happen often. I'm going to link off my Soul of Disaster as well as my Leela for Unchained Soul of Rage. And this board is actually littered with disruptions, guys. I have Leela in the graveyard for 1 disruption. I have Unchained, Escape of the Unchained for another disruption and a free special summon. I have Soul of Rage for 1 disruption to be able to link off of my opponent. And then the monster that I summon for another disruption. How will Meshack be able to play through this type of board? It's too strong. Meshack debating on his options. Will he be able to overcome this board? It's a lot of things going on right here. Keep in mind that I also have a pretty decent hand. It's going to be really hard to stop Unchained when they go off like this. Meshack is going to use Zeta Aldaba, tributing the Alpha Thubin. He's already off to a good start. He's going to special summon Alpha Thubin in defense position, because that's how Drytron monsters are summoned. And now he's going to be able to add that spell card that he covets from his graveyard or his deck to his hand. He's off to a pretty decent start. He's still going to be having to play through all of those disruptions I set to my side of the field. A Herald of Ultimateness is probably what he's going to be looking for, because he can start negating these card effects. But it's going to be a race on who would have more hand advantage. Using the Alpha Thubin, he's going to go ahead and pitch a Cyber Angel Benton. That is amazing. But whoa, Ally of Justice Cycle Reader. I didn't even need to use any of the disruptions on field. Cycle Reader is going to banish 2 light monsters from the graveyard. Terrific sideboard card against the Drytron strategy. It looks like my cards of choice are going to be the Benton and Herald, but I'm still thinking on exactly what do I want. I kind of do care about the Ritual Monster that he does add from his deck to his hand, so it just might be the Benton and the Alpha Thubin. That just might be the correct choices. Yes, it's going to be the Benton and the Alpha Thubin, so he won't be able to get any of those effects. He won't be able to search anything from his deck to his hand, and Meshack is at a huge disadvantage. High impact hand traps like Ally of Justice Cycle Reader can end Drytron's turn, as Meshack does just exactly that. But before he can go into his end phase, I'm going to use Soul of Rage to link off with his Aldaba. Unfortunately, I can't go into a Nightmare Unicorn co-linked to be able to get rid of another one of his cards and draw a card. But I will go into Unchained Soul of Anguish. I'll now be able to use the effect of Kisa Kill to be able to special summon Leela to my side of the field. I could use Leela to destroy the Kisa Kill, but I have other plans, destroying the Escape from the Unchained, triggering its effect to be able to special summon a monster to my side of the field. That's going to be Rakia. Rakia is going to use its effect to be able to destroy the Sarama, and whoa, it looks like I'll be able to special summon another Unchained monster. Meshack, realizing that my monster of choice is going to be the Abominable Unchained Soul, that is enough for game, all on his end phase. Thank you guys so much for watching another segment of the Cali Effect. Again, if you guys want to see that Unchained deck profile, be sure to destroy that like button and let us know down below, as well as check out these other awesome videos. We got you back when it comes to entertaining live duel content. I hope you guys are staying safe and have an amazing day, and I'll catch you on the next video.